Well, moving on real quick, we have our first guest coming on here in just a couple of minutes, and I wanted to welcome Ray Boles, and he's running for Senate in Alabama. He's in Senate District 30, and he's going to be coming online here in just a moment. This is a gentleman, he's 37, and he's a native of Prattville, Alabama. He's got a twin brother, Ron. Hopefully he didn't pull a substitution on us today. You know, you always have that question about the twin, which one are you talking to, right? No, but in all seriousness, you know, Ray is a conservative Republican. He's a business owner. His business sells and installs flooring in Alabama. Christian man he's spent time in Uganda and has also spent time in the South Pacific doing missionary work, which always impresses me when somebody puts their money where their mouth is and actually goes over and does something rather than just eating beans for a night for the hungry. You know, like those people making $40 million a year in Hollywood do for you. So, you know, to me that's a lot more of an impressive start. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring Mr. Boles on here in a moment, and just to kind of remind everybody, first of all, we're going to be asking neutral questions. This is going to be a question and answer period. It's not going to be a debate period. I'm not going to sit here and argue with anything, even if I disagree with it. This is a period for Ray to get his information out to educate his electorate. And this is a show for Ray to express his opinions on subjects so that his electorate understands who he is, because unfortunately in the last several elections we have elected people that we didn't understand who they were. And the reason why we are where we are, frankly, the reason why we are where we are is because the last 60 years we haven't been all that good at educating ourselves about our elected officials. We've been quite lazy about it. And this is how we end up with people like that guy from Georgia who thinks that the island is going to tip over and capsize in the ocean. And personally, you know, everybody in that district needs to just smack themselves once, because that man can't even speak legibly. So the one rule, of course, you know, for the candidate is don't speak about your opponent. Don't speak about Bush or Obama or the past or anything else. This is about you. This is about your opinions. This is about your beliefs. And that's what we want to try to bring forward. And we have a whole series of questions we'll be asking. So, you know, you can either answer the questions in a quick and timely manner for your folks so that they can get quite a wide spectrum of your views, or we can, you know, have long answers and they get a lot less information. And this is something that we're going to be doing from now until election time. This is not to be controversial. This is not to be confrontational. This is educational. So I'd like to have everybody welcome online Mr. Boles. Ray, can you hear me? I just want to make sure I am. Let's see here real quick. Ray, are you out there, sir?
We're here.
How you doing, sir?
Good, good. How you doing today?
Oh, doing well. Happy Easter weekend to you.
Happy Easter weekend to you. And you'll have to excuse the phone ringing in the background. I'm at the office working today.
Well, that's good. That's good. I can certainly understand that. And, you know, occasionally I'd get another phone call here, too, so just ignore it if you hear it. So, no, I appreciate you coming on the show today. You know, I look forward to getting a chance to get to know you a little bit better. I guess the first thing, you know, that I always like to make sure is when I was just talking before you came on the line here, I'm sure you got a chance to hear what I was saying there. And does that sound like a good idea for you?
Yes, sir. I'm on board. Let's just give out the information and let people make up their minds.
Well, that's the whole idea. And that's the problem that I saw that, like in 2008, you know, we had this election. We put basically a socialist government into place. And unfortunately what ended up happening is that a lot of people were shocked. And that's why you saw the numbers drop 20 points for the president.
That's correct.
Because they didn't know what they were getting into, even though he basically came out and told them. Mm-hmm. And so what we want to do on our show is we're going to try to interview as many people as we can between now and the election to try to help educate your electorate. And, you know, we certainly, you know, would encourage, we're going to put it on YouTube and we'll put it on our website. So we would encourage you to do the same thing. So.
Yeah, we're definitely going to put it on our website and on the YouTube.
Okay.
Got our people listening right now.
Sounds great, and welcome to everybody who is coming online and listening to this. Now, what I'm basically going to do is ask your opinion on several items. And yeah, I guess right now maybe you can fill us in a little bit quickly on the state of Alabama. How is the state of Alabama itself hanging? You know, I know Virginia's had its share of fiscal problems. You know, give me a little background on the politics and the situation in the state of Alabama.
I tell you, Alabama, financially and economically, is everybody's saying we're going to be the first state that gets out completely out of the recession, and it's going good here. You know, I own a small flooring store, so I do a lot of work with builders. I'm already seeing the builders come back in. More and more plans are walking in the store. So we're having more houses being built. The thing about the South, we're warm weather. We don't have unions, and our work ethics and our pay scale is so much, it's a really good work ethic with a low pay scale.
Right.
So businesses are wanting to come down here because they can get the people and the jobs cheaper. So it's helping Alabama tremendously. What we have now, the problem in Alabama, is the whole gambling issue.
Okay.
And the FBI actually came in here 2 days ago and started to subpoena a lot of our senators for the gambling bill they just voted on. And I believe there's going to be a lot of heads roll on this deal when it's done.
Okay.
So that's the number one topic in Alabama right now is this gambling bill.
Well, there's always, you know, it's always the front page issue, right? As far as the gambling issue goes, explain a little bit about the gambling issue and where you come down on one side or the other on that.
The gambling issue is basically, do we want to have Class B gambling, which would be bingo halls? The state's already full of bingo halls, but they're illegal because they've never been voted on. People came in here and just started building them. The problem that we had was our attorney general was telling the governor they were legal. Well, the FBI came in here last year and said, no, we've been telling him for 4 or 5 years these are not legal. So the governor had to take over the task force. He's been trying to shut them down. Now the Democrats have put on a bill and was able to pass it, the bingo bill. The problem with this bill, you're only taxing it 25%. There's no buy-in to open one up, and the senators that are in control of the Senate get to pick who has the bingos and how much they're taxed, which be, at this point in time, the Democrats.
Okay.
And I'm just against it. I'm against it completely and utterly because it's not taxing them well enough, and we don't need to have our politicians mixed up in gambling. The only way I would even think about supporting any type of gambling would be if, A, you could not give any money to politicians. You have to end pack-to-pack transfers. You would have a true board set up over it, and you tax it 50% and a $50 million buy-in. That would be the only way I could even think about voting for something like that.
Now, when you're talking about a buy-in,
to open up a casino. If somebody wanted to come to Alabama and open up a casino, it would cost them $50 million to buy the first year's license.
That's quite a steep license.
That's exactly to keep them out. You make it where you don't. If people want it, then they're going to have to pay for it. But my other argument on that, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, is if you look at the surrounding states, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, I tell everybody this, who has the best school systems? In my opinion, it'd either be Georgia or Florida. Who has the worst? This is just my opinion, but I would say it's Mississippi. Mississippi has gaming. They have the bingo. Florida and Georgia don't. They went with the lotto. In business, you always copy who's successful. So why are we going to copy the state that's on the bottom instead of copying states that are on the top? It makes no sense whatsoever. But it's very political. The gambling cartels are dumping tons of money into these Senate races on the Democratic side, trying to buy their way in here. And the people of Alabama are just going to have to stand up and say no and keep it out.
Okay. Well, I can certainly understand